though they are outliers, what incubation center and accelerators does is that they provide you with the network, they provide you with the right connection and all, so that it will help you. Suppose that you need to, it will take you somewhere around 6 months to an year to do anything, any work, like create a new feature or create a new product, work with the marketing team, get the PR and everything. These incubation and accelerators centers, they will reduce it to like 1 month or 2 months time, with their experience and with their expertise and the mentors and all. So this is what incubation centers and accelerators do. They speed up your process. They speed up your process, and the chances of after incubation, the chances of failure reduces significantly, because if you are doing it on your own, there are chances that you might not know anything. But in incubation and accelerators, the people out there, the management of the incubation centers and accelerators, they know everything. So these are not guarantees, but these reduce. This is what accelerator and incubation does, that it speeds up your process of startup and significantly reduces the chances of failure. Though it is not like 100% here that, okay, if you are into an accelerator and incubation center, you are going to succeed only. There are failures. Even YC accelerator startups fail, but it's significant, but the chances significantly reduces when you are into any accelerator program or incubation center program. Okay, if we show market figures, data in our PPT, but can't show any revenue at that moment due to the limitation of funds to make our idea live, I am unable to get the number. I think you are talking about market sizing, but but there is nothing like fund. You are not generating any revenue. That is possible. If your startup is a tech startup, it is possible that you can show the numbers. Okay, the market potential is this, the size is this, and they are growing at a rate of, say, like CAGR of such and such, compound average growth rate, yeah, CAGR. The percentage of increase of CAGR is such and such. You can show that, but still the confidence that that investors have into any startup is because of the numbers, the revenue and all. For tech, it can work because tech is a disruptive industry. So if there is a product, it can really do, it can really get funded at very early stage, even at idea stage also. Because I know somebody who is running a startup into Bangalore. He is running a successful startup in Bangalore. Before that, he started his own. His startup was located in Switzerland. He took an exit from them and sold it for somewhere around $8 million. So when he goes to university and colleges for like pitching session and fundraising session, he generally gives like 30,000 USD, which will be somewhere around 10 to 20 lakh rupees, just like that, to the student whose ideas he like. So this is how he takes a major chunk of their startup at the start only, and having the experience, he knows that these idea might work. So if he is going to invest like 30,000 into five startup and getting for 1.5K, he is investing somewhere around 1 CR into all these startups, 5 startup, and then he is getting somewhere around 25% or 50% of stake from those startup at the idea stage. And suppose one startup is going to become a unicorn, so he will be getting somewhere around, on an investment of 1 crore rupees, he is going to get a return of somewhere around 7,000 crore rupees. So this is how it is. So yes, there are some investors who really like to take risk at the idea stage also, so you might get funded at that stage also. But it is not a thumb rule. These are exceptions. So you will find like 1 in a million investor who is going to take chance on your idea stage. Continuing previous Q, what if I don't have an experienced CTO but have a very strong tech person with minimal experience as a CTO? If you have a CTO, if you are having a tech product, the core of your product is technology, and if you are having a CTO, with minimal experience as a CTO. The thing is that that person having a minimal experience doesn't matter into startup. What matters is like having good managers out there. There is a study study and research which says that the student from the difference between average managers and the difference between good managers, the output is almost like 27x. So this is the thing. So having minimal experience, but if that person is like really good, I shouldn't be throwing this name, but if that person is from IIT and like really good, um, the chances of getting funding is like always there. That's why one of the reason the pitch deck which I said yesterday. So it is a tech product. Though the founder is from the IIT, still we brought in a CTO which is also from IIT. So this is how, because the core of the entire product is technology, and bringing somebody from the technology background as CTO from one of the elite institute is going to help us in the at the time of the valuation. So having a minimal experience is nothing, like, because companies like Razorpay and all started, they were like just graduate just pass out of from IIT Roorkee, and like this week only, Razorpay became an unicorn. So it is so it's not like you need to have a minimum experience as CTO, but you need somebody who can do the work. That's all. Where we can get investors, there are different events where you can talk to investors. They from time oh, Okay, from time to time they have investor sessions. From time to time they have investor pitch sessions. So you need to reach out to these investors out there. You need to be ready with your investor elevator pitch, because their investors are not going to give you much time. So you need to convince them within 30 seconds and 1 minute of time. That is what elevator pitch is all about. So even there are like events. Suppose IIT is having their annual e-summit, so there a lot of investors come. So in there you can reach there you can meet investor directly face to face. Otherwise, you need to reach to them through the social media lab, that will be LinkedIn basically, or go to their website and dig out their email addresses and send it on their email addresses. So this is how it is going to work. You won't be able to get the phone number of the investors, because they generally don't give their phone numbers. But yeah, you can go through their offices and through the email addresses. There are a lot of angel investment companies in Pune. If not in Pune, there is a Mumbai Angel Network. So whom I know, I personally know the person at the Mumbai, some person in the Mumbai Angel Network. So there are a lot of angel investment company into Maharashtra also, and it is not like that. Suppose there is a like you can say that the Rajasthan Angel Network is not going to invest any money into the Kerala startups. It is not like that. The only thing that matters to the investor is the money that they will be getting back. So even if they find a good startup into Jammu and Kashmir, they are going to go and fund. So it is not like city specific angel investment. So you can get it even if you are really good. You can also get funded from international angel investors. So it goes like that. I am a tech founder and CEO, but I don't know coding. I have the very understanding of technology. So will investors have this strong CTO and tech team? Okay. Uh, you don't know coding, but you are from the technological background. That's okay. At least you understand the technology, but you need somebody. You need a tech team or a CTO who exactly knows how the things like coding is going to be done into the entire product. Then only you will be able to investors will be because the thing is that not everybody can code. Not everybody can code, but still there are founders who raise like really big companies without even coding. If you talk about, to take an example, Razorpay people, they don't they might be knowing how to code, but they won't be able to code into AI and ML. That is not their core. But they got funding, they became an unicorn just because the job of a founder and the job of a CEO is to bring everything under one roof and to control it. This is the job of a CEO and founder. You need to have the understanding of the core skill set of your product. That will be technology. You are having it, well and good, and then you can always bring in team. If you are starting off with the fintech, that doesn't mean that you need to have a CA degree. You need to have an understanding of the entire process. So in you already mentioned that you have a strong CTO and tech team. You can always go for it. In general, in any organization who will be looking for the competitive analysis, who will be doing that? CEO, marketing team. Okay, in general, in any organization, it is job of the when I am talking about organization, it is startups. It is job of the entire core team to look for the competitive landscapes, because everybody there will be some product which is what we call affiliate product, you can say, or dummy products, which will show like your which will not show like your direct competition, but indirectly will be in competition with your product. So there will be product like that also. So it is job of the entire core team, that may be like CEO, COO, chief operating operation, or the CTO, because technology based company with CTO is like the everything for their product. So it is not a responsibility. It need to be a joint responsibility. It is similar to something like sales is not job of a salesperson, but sales is job of the entire startup, every employee of the startup. So everybody need to understand how to do the sale in any startup. So it is similar. You need to every employee or every staff member of a startup need to have an eye on the competitive and an eye on the competitive landscape, that which new thing is cropping, and which is going to hamper them directly or indirectly. Though we have similar ideas in market, why invest again in a new startup who has just one single unit? Why invest again in a new startup who has just one single unique feature? What motives him? Though we have similar ideas in market, why invest again in a new startup who has just one single unique feature? If it is going to have a unique single feature, that means that it is innovative. And if you remember, we discuss about the definition of the startup. That means that mention that it need to be innovative by nature. So if it is a unique feature, if it is like attracting the risk capital, like investors are getting interested into it, and it having a single unique feature, which is like the innovation. So I think 2 out of 3 criteria are meeting here. The third is always like disruption, the way things are, it is changing the way the business has been done. So this is how things are, because anything which comes new into the market, which have some market potential, investors get motivated to invest into it, because they uh, it is called risk capital. That is all. They like to take risk, and that's why. As we are newbies, what kind of we can extend from investment after getting funded? Okay, so this is like really critical question, and I really like that somebody at least thinking at that level, and I have asked this question, that as a newbies, what kind of help we can accept from an angel investor and after getting funded. Uh, just getting funded for the sake of taking money is never good for any startup. So when you are getting funded, just look for angel investor which have a network into a domain which can help you further into strategy or scaling up. Suppose I am investing into, I am running a what to say, I am running a apparel startup. I am starting off with something into the apparel industry, some technology based and something. So somebody who is like really senior into the apparel industry, he is also an angel investor. I will be after his life to just invest into my company, and if required I will be I will be setting like another 2 to 5% just for bringing him on board, because I know that he is high into the textile and the garment industry, so he can help me not only with the money that he's giving to me, but a lot of into, like, he can help me with cracking deals, he can help me with expanding internationally, he can help me with talking to buyers, talking to sellers or the suppliers. So this is what you should accept when you are looking for an angel investor. Suppose you are coming up with a blockchain startup, try to get Ivan Luthra onto invest into your company. Who is Ivan Luthra? Just go and check onto Google. Ivan Luthra is like the blockchain evangelist, and he comes somewhere on top 10 into the world. So if you are starting something into blockchain, try to bring him onto your board. If that requires to give him more like 2 to 5% more of your stake, just be ready to give that, because that investor is going to bring a lot of value on board onto for your startup when he will be coming, rather than a sleeping angel investor who just invests money and forget and will come after every quarter to ask for the MIS and everything. So this is a good question, and this is how it should be. You also have some leverage over choosing the investors. This is one of the reason I say to work on your product, but create a good product and bring it into the market. For a deep technology startup, idea can be approach investor with a proof of concept or wireframes, as it can't afford to build MVP for. You can. I would rather advise you to reach out to organization who are providing some grant or incubation money for the deep tech technology startups. Like one I know is HPCL, that is Hindustan Petroleum Limited. They have somewhere around 300 crores rupees of uh, grants or incubation money for giving for putting into the deep tech startup. So find out, reach out to them. They give money for it, and from there you can build your product, because uh, uh, the deep tech products are generally expensive to build, and not a single founder can build it on their own. So yes, there are grants, there are government grants, then there are private venture grants which are there into the market. Just you need to do that legwork. Being an entrepreneur requires a lot of things, so just do that legwork and find out who all are giving money for the deep tech thing. Oh, okay. The next question, the other question which I just clicked was about the ESOP. ESOP is a very complicated thing. So uh, it is into the master class. It will require another 2 hours for defining all the ESOP options and all, how it is given, how you can, because in India, frankly speaking, in India, ESOP is just making fool of the employees and nothing else. Suppose you give some stock option to an employee, and when he resigns or leaves the organization, he need to exercise that ESOP option. I say like 3 months. That is the time for exercising your ESOP option. But suppose the ESOP option is the value of that ESOP option is coming somewhere around 20 lakh rupees. So that point of time he have to pay the tax which will be applicable on it. So let's take an example like 30% falling into the upper bracket. So he need to pay 6 lakh rupees to the uh, to the uh, to the government of India, to the income tax department, to exercise that tax. And those ESOP options will be paid at a very later stage when there will be acquisition or all. So in those cases, uh, ESOP staff members, whatever staff members who get this ESOP option generally doesn't exercise their ESOP options. It goes back to their ESOP pool. So it is completely different thing. I think we can. It is into the master class. You can just go and enroll for that. It is like quite a good exhaustive what we have created, and it is better than upgrade, I can say, which is like 85,000 rupees. It is far better than that. So it is a completely different thing, and the discussion over ESOP is going to take another 3 to 4 hours. So let's leave it for today. We can take some other question. Is there any we can join? There are a lot of incubator programs. I have a list also. That day somebody asked me from the agriculture background, so I digged up my hard disk and hard drive and got the list. I will be sharing with all the docket which you will be getting with all the recording and everything. So you will be getting it into that, the PPT, and also I will be sharing that list also. It will just try to join some incubator which will be related to your domain, because there are 2-3 kind of incubators. One will be the business strategy incubator, like we have at Startup Monk, where we advise the founders on the strategy part and how to on the business plan part, how to create the financial, how to create the roadmap and all. Then there are incubators which are product incubators. So they will help you on creating or streamlining your product. So you need to first identify whether you are going to go for the business and strategy incubator or your product incubator. So first decide over that, and then only decide on which incubators to join. If you are going for the government incubators, somebody asked yesterday only, and he was quite worried that all the mentors of the incubators were like professors and scientists, so it is not going to work that well for you if you are going for the business and strategy and roadmap incubation thing. If you are going for products, so professors and scientists can work there, help you out there as mentors. But for business strategy part, try to found some private incubators which will take some money, like anything between 10,000 to 15,000 per month, and single digits take something between 1% to 5% of your company, and further you can work with them. And the graduation period is anything between 3 months to 6 months. So that will be like the period you need to sign contract with them. Can we get some experienced people into our team just for guidance, or do we need to give equity? Okay, can we get some experienced people into our team just for guidance, and do we need to give equity to them? Our startup do that. These experienced people are called advisors and mentors. You need to, nobody works for free, so either you need to give them a monthly charge. Suppose when I started my journey into mentoring, I started mentoring a startup which was a Melbourne based startup, and that was my first startup which I mentored after coming back to the ecosystem again. So it was like I used to charge them somewhere around 15,000 rupees per month, and it was only for advisory. So they were taking like 1 hour of my time every week. So I used to speak with them for 1 hour, and that is how things work. So yes, and if you are not that cash rich, you are unable to pay them, just try to negotiate on the terms of equity stake. It comes something between 0.5% to 2.5% per advisor or per mentor. It will go from the ESOP pool or the option pool that you have created into the cap table. I think that I have answered the question quite brilliantly. Okay, so now we will take this 6th question, then we'll go back to the case study, and after that we can further, if there will be any question, we will talk about that. So will we get invested if we have founder and CEO in India but fund? The chances are really less, because if an investor is investing into your startup, and the founder, the co-founder is not only there into the country where the startup is coming. Just try to think it from the investor's point of view. That means if the co-founder is not there in the country for the startup, and you are pitching for the investment, that means the co-founder is not 100% confident about the startup to become a success. So if the co-founder is not only confident that he can leave his job and come and work on this startup, then how can an investor is going to put their money into it? It is more like telling that I am not confident, but I want money from you. So this if there are like core team, at least founders will require core team. The example which I just gave, our skill prodigy whom I was mentoring, so the founder and co-founder was into Australia. They were working in Sydney. The CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, was sitting in India, Delhi, and C was taking care of the entire operation of India. So when they started talking for the fundraising, the seed round, sorry, seed round, I on day one I told them that nobody is going to invest into you because the founders and co-founders are not into the country, the India. But they were like, "Nee, kya fark padta hai? We are a digital. We have a digital product. Digital product can work from anywhere." But they pitched to somewhere around, I think, 12 or 13 investors. Even I refer them to some investors, but they were unable to raise any funds. The reason was simple, because if the founder and co-founder is not confident even enough that their startup is going to work, and they are unable and they're not ready to give up their job and come and work on the idea, how can an investor put their complete faith into the founding team and put money into it? So there is nothing uh, uh, nothing bad about it, but this is how it works. Okay, USP is like the full form. I think everybody might be knowing it is unique selling price, but it is the differentiator. It is something which differentiate yourself, your startup product, services, or processes from the ventures which are already into the market. So this is the differentiator, USP, what we call. What makes you different? So you need to, if you are pitching in front of the investors, if you are coming up with the same idea and the same product without any differentiator, that means why an investor is going to invest into your company which is already there, present there. That doesn't even justify the definition of startups. So you need to be different. There, the innovation come. It can be it can be discontinuous innovation, or it can be incremental innovation. So there are definition for innovation, also how innovation works, and again, it is part of another thing, another workshop. It is part of idea validation, and I believe if you are here, then you might have done that. So there are two types of innovation. So that innovation creates your product or services different from the others. That will be your USP, which will be like the differentiator. Okay, guys, no more questions, because then we will. It's already like 7. We have. To get funded, it is mandatory to pass out or drop out from IITs. No. Can't it be normal college student with similar liabilities such as IIT can't? No, it is not a mandatory thing. Though IITs get preference, because I mentioned, I think, onto the second class, onto the second day of the session. That, just give me a second. Okay, if you are presented with two documents, the business plan of a person from the normal college and the business plan from the IIT, so you can easily compare the difference. The business plan which is presented by an IITian is like at least 25x better than the business plan presented by the person from the normal college. This is what I have seen, and this is what I have. So the reason why these IIT and IIT people get more chances, because the session that we are having right now, the fundamental of fundraising and these types, the IT and the IM student have these kind of session on weekly basis. So they are much aware about how the things work. So they prepare their business plan or pitch deck according to that. That is the only reason that they get more fund. They are more rigorous when it comes to research. They are when they present you data, they are like really great. If you can do that, you will also get funding. There is no investor doesn't like, okay, we are only going to pay to IITians and people from IM. Take let's just take some example. Take example of Ritesh Agarwal, which is like Ritesh Agarwal is a college dropout, Delhi University dropout. Then let's take example of Dr. Ritesh Malik. He's an MBBS doctor from some unknown medical college. Then Paytm is still from DTU. Is like DTU is already compared to IIT. So let's leave Paytm. Then what other? Flipkart is leave it. They are from IITs, and Razorpay is again IIT. Snapdeal Snapdeal, I think they are not from IIT. Snapdeal founder and co-founders. So there are people who are. It's not like that only people from IITs get funded. There are unicorns which are not from IIT. And take the example of Jodhra, which is like a stake share market, a trading platform, not a share market, but trading platform. The uh, the school dropout, the founder of the Jodhra is like school dropout. He haven't till day he haven't raised a single penny, and it is like a bootstrap unicorn. Okay, so the bottom line, it is not necessary. They do good work when it comes to preparing the business plan. They have all the answers. They do good research. That's why they get more funding. If you can do that, you can always get that. So it is like working more. It is like attending more session. It is like understanding how the entire ecosystem works. If you have seen the video of the day one, which I we have uploaded on the on your section of the course section of the website. Day one, there were two videos. The second video, I talked a bit about how angel investors invest, how VCs invest. If you are unable to understand their psyche, what they are thinking, you can create a better product for them. So this is how things will work. So work on that. And uh, there is a saying that, okay, entrepreneurs are born, they can't be taught. But you need to understand that fundamental of entrepreneurship, you need to study it. You can study it from anywhere. Till day, if there is a course of Harvard Business School, or if there is a course of like any Wharton School of Business, anything which comes up, and new course, like there is a recent course, they are working, there is a Harvard Business School recent course on the future of technology of entrepreneurship. So I have enrolled for that also, and they're quite expensive, but that is what keeps you ahead into the road. So you need to invest something onto you, on you, because this is, just let me uh, okay, so in entrepreneurship, you need to invest into yourself rather, also, and not only think about investing into your product. Make yourself aware of things, then only you can move forward. And this is what IT does to IT students. Okay, what is the traction that investor fund for it? It is it downloads, and what is the minimum period they consider as it's a good traction, or it will depend from domain to domain. What is your domain? And second, the traction is not only download. There is a term which is called vanity metrics. Downloads doesn't fall under the vanity metric. Vanity metrics will be more like the number of users, daily users, or the number of transactions done through your app, rather than just downloads. Because if you can study the customer journey for any app, it will be like 70% of, if there are 100 downloads, 70% of app user never go to the app. So it is not a vanity matrix. When you talk about downloads, it's not a vanity matrix. There are some metrics like per day users, the transaction which is made through you, then the screen time that the user is spending onto your app. These are some vanity metrics for app based startups. So we will discuss. It is into another section. Just leave it as of now. They are like really long. It will go into long debate. Telegram has no revenue model. How it would raise funds and what? Okay, it is not only about revenue. WhatsApp still they are unable to generate a single penny. Now they have started with the money transaction thing, but before that they were not generating a single penny. Still they were bought by Facebook for $19 billion. So there is a revenue model which is like free revenue model. And you need to understand that revenue model. Just go and understand how why WhatsApp is valued like 19 million. Without having a single penny of revenue. You can find it on the Google. it is generally part of the business plan. So if you are putting it into a business plan, you need to understand the revenue models, how your product is going to work. So you need to put it under the revenue model category, and it is a revenue model. Uh, uh, Not having a free app doesn't mean that they don't have a revenue model. They have a revenue model. So you need to understand that, and that it is part of the business plan. So if you are planning something, if you are planning your business, there are 27 type of revenue models out there. There are like uh, uh, premium revenue model is there. Then there buy one get one revenue model. There is subscription revenue model. There is vanity revenue model. Then there is uh, uh, tip jar revenue model, like Wikipedia work on the tip jar revenue model, where they only get donation and then they work. So there are 27 kind of revenue models as per my understanding, which I have studied so far. So you Telegram fall under the, I think, free revenue model, uh, free services revenue model, which is also the same revenue model which WhatsApp is having. So they generally deal into data and the uh, uh, the data and the analysis of the data. So it is more like they use it for the marketing thing and all. So they have a revenue model. It is not like they are not having any revenue model. How to fix the price for our product. Telegram has no revenue, but good reason. And also how ShareChat can raise 26 million USD revenue from just from ads. Okay, so when we talk about ShareChat, it have huge data. So I don't know what is the number of downloads for ShareChat, because I rarely use such kind of app. I'm more into like, if I go for photo sharing and video, I am still into like Instagram, big fan of Instagram, and I really like the founder of the Instagram. So that is one of the reasons. So I never use ShareChat and how it works. But the thing is that uh, these these companies, these startups, they completely work on the data that they are generating. You don't understand the value of data which is out there. Just I know I am not sure how many of you are aware of Facebook advertisements. So every click that you made, every like that you are every photo like that you are doing, every share that you are making on the Facebook, every time you are stopping while you are scrolling and seeing an advertisement on Facebook, every video that you are watching on the Facebook, every data is collected by the every data is collected by Facebook. Then there is Facebook pixel out there, which is likely their AI and ML part. So what they do, they first, they have all the data of you. They have almost like your, if you want, if you will ask Facebook to predict something, it can predict more accurately about you than even if you can think, even more better than you. So this is how they work. So ShareChat work on the similar, and now these people, they sell these data analytics to the advertisement company. Uh, suppose that a person uh, who is into what to say, who is liking photos of people, their friend and family members who are traveling, who are going to Goa. So take an example, who is going to Goa, they are liking their ads again and they are liking their photos again and again. They are conversing with them, they are sharing photos of Goa, they are going and checking on the website about Goa and all. You will be surprised after 3 hours, because I think it takes somewhere around 3 hours for 30 minutes. It takes somewhere around 30 minutes for AI of Facebook to read everything and prepare the advertisement according to that. You will start seeing only Goa ads, and they will bombard you at that level that you, at one point of time, you are going to buy it. So this is what advertiser pays them money. You will be surprised that uh, Facebook ads are not that cheap. So they made somewhere around $26 billion this year just with the Facebook ads. So this is how the how they use the data, and this is how uh, they generate it from ads. So if Facebook is generating $26 billion from ads, somewhere around 100 million can easily be generated by ShareChat also. To 100 million is like too much. 100 million in a year is like too much. And 26 billion million dollar is like the valuation of 100 million, that will be 8. So you, at the time of valuation, we have we studied that it's something between 8 to 12 12 times of the revenue. So the valuation will be somewhere around $1 billion. So this is how it works. You need to understand it. And advertisement is not like a small business to go into. If you have the right data, you can analyze the right data in the right way. Advertisement is like huge. This is why affiliate marketer lives on. What about faster capital? Fast. I am on board of Faster Capital, so you don't ask about Faster Capital. They are more into the tech co-founders, but though being on the board of the Faster Capital, I will advise not to go into the trap. They are, it is completely a trap. You can go to YC if you get selected, because they select very rare, very less startups every year. So if you can select it, you can go for YC. YC is any day better. YC is like the best pre-seed accelerator of the world globally. So you can go for that. Faster Capital is they are just like trapping people of who don't have any experience of the technology. So they come as CTO, and they because they are saying that they are going to take 50% of the development of the technology. You can get that the amount they are going to quote. You can get full-time CTO and a team in India to develop that. So it is like a though I was also part of their mental pool. It is like a safe thing to go. It is not good for, at least for Indian startups. European and US startup can opt for, but Indian startup, but cash is always a problem. It is not good. We are working on tech product. We are from electronic background. We have outsourced our work for them. We're planning to hire consultant to review code. So is this an even a question I am unable to get? Continue. For investors, it's CTO requirement mandatory. If your core product is technology, you need to have a CTO. If your core product is completely based on the technology, that is like coding and all, if you are creating a product which is like a technological product, then you need to have a CTO for that. It is not like that without CTO you are going to work. So you need to have a CTO for that. So it's like that. What are best channel or tools to do competitor, and how do people usually do it? There are reports which come into the market. There is a report by Inc42 which is like really good, but it is quite expensive. I think they charge somewhere around 30,000 or 38,000, but it is like really good. Apart from that, you need to collect data from the news channels or other sources from where you can collect it. And then there is nothing like a tool for understanding the competiting analysis. People create their own Excel sheet, and they say that it is a tool to decide your competitive analysis or everything. Because if you are coming up with a startup product or services, it will be something a bit different from the previous one. So there will be a differentiator. So in that case, creating an exact competitor analysis is like really tough. But there you can create you can say a shadow competitors analysis, where indirectly they will be a competitor, but directly, if you are coming up with a startup, by definition it need to be different from you. By definition, it need to be innovative. So there won't be any direct competitors out there. So indirect competitor analysis, you need to do it. Now you need to do some research. There are a lot of people. You can easily get student from IIMs, IIT, or other people who want to intern as into the research capacity, and you can ask them to do the research. They do brilliant research out for it. While buying it, no more questions, please. While buying a domain, we need to do the case study also. While buying a domain, what all things that we take into consideration? What do you need, both domain and hosting? Which company is the best to buy it from? It has nothing to do with fundraising. So I will like Because again, I know everything about it. Why domain and hosting are different, why which company to buy, and which company to buy hosting also. But this is nothing to do with fundraising, so I would like to skip this question. You can talk to other people into the WhatsApp group, and they can help you out with this. Is it better to sell if someone asks for acquisition in future, if we fall in same line of business or well, M&A is always is quite common into the startup ecosystem, merger and acquisition. If you take the example of Ankur Warikoo, so he initially took some fund from Paytm. So Paytm was the I think they invested at the venture capitalist VC level. So it was Series A. In Series A, Paytm invested into Nearby, so they acquired the Nearby.com completely. So it is quite common into. And if you think that you can't scale it any further, it is always good to go for acquisition. You should always have an exit plan. People say that it is foolish to have an exit plan, and they want to build it like Apple, or they want to build it like Microsoft and Facebook. It is not practical and feasible. You need to have an exit plan. Either it can be a merger or acquisition, or it can be an IPO, anything, or selling it all across out. And people do it. A lot of startups do it. So there is no shame into it. It is a practical solution. I did it. So I did it twice. So it is a practical solution. So if you are a visionary like Steve Jobs, or even our Vijay Sekhar Sharma, or Ritesh Agarwal, go for it. Or if you are somebody like Ankur Warikoo or Dr. Ritesh Malik, who sold their companies, it's always okay. There is nothing bad in getting money. Uh, for any early startup, do you recommend to outsource the development? Uh, you can, but it will depend on what is your core skill. If your core skill of your startup is technology, which will be dependent on your website and which will be dependent on app, so outsourcing the development is like really really bad thing, because you will be requiring, there will be a lot of changes which will come continuously each and every day. There will be changes into UI and UX. There will be changes in the code from the back. Suppose you are creating a social media kind of thing, so you will be after the like button is not working. So if you have a outsourced development, you have to reach out to those people again. Then they will take another 48 hours to come up with that. But if you have an in-house team, so you can even wake that person one in the night and ask him to work onto that. So for a startup, if it is the core is technology and it is going to work on the development of, on the app and website, have a core team, have a core to this is what is something which people need to learn. It comes into the bootstrapping. So how to bootstrap your startup initially. So this is something which is part of the bootstrapping. And you can always create, even without money, you can create a in-house team. So that's not a problem. I have an example of Decibel. So the entire they they've started, they have launched, and they did everything just with 10,000 rupees. And they are something like Twitter of voice. I know the founder really well. He's an ex entrepreneur. Previous to this, he came up with a company with the name of Tea Wife. So he started with the chain of selling teas into Lucknow with the name of Tea Wife. So they were the first competitor of Chayos. So they and Chayos come together into the existence. So they, from a single tea stall, they become a chain of 8 stores. But later, due to competition and due to a lot of factors, they have to close down the operations. But yeah, they have done it. Have data driven startup, is it good to have on-premise, have an on-premise data center or cloud? Cloud will work. Yeah, nowadays cloud are quite secure. You need to buy the cloud server from the right service provider. Clouds are good, so you can go for cloud also. Having an in on-premise data center is always like will be expensive, and you need to have a person who will be taking care of that. So that will be like an additional cost to it. Though cloud servers are cheap when it comes in, they will also be using. They will also be asking the monthly subscription rate or something like that. For a server, for to create your data center, the server only in itself will come somewhere around 5 lakh rupees. So not advisable. And security is also not there. In India, you will never know that baris bahut zyada hui, so the entire your server room get flooded and the entire server just just get electrocuted. So yeah, cloud is always good. I am a huge advocate of new technology, so I will advise you to go on to cloud. Where can I find a co-founder? I'm looking for a co-founder for the long time. Okay, so yeah, you guys are asking questions which are not part of fundraising, but still okay. So I will answer this, but after this, if there will be anything which is coming and not part of the part of the fundraising, I will. So co-founders are, when you are hiring a co-founder, so there is a matrix for that. There is a framework for that also. So it needs to be the three things that we look for any co-founder. The skill set. The skill set we check the skill set that we check, the values that we check, and then the ideas that we check. Okay, so if you are looking for a co-founder, the best thing the best co-founder will be somebody who have different skill set than you. Suppose you are into technical, you have a technical background and you are really good with coding. So bring in someone who is like a COO who can take care of the operations. As we already discussed that there are five part of any core team, which will like operation, product, and product operations, tech and engineering, marketing, and sales. So you need to bring in somebody who have different skill set than one. Second is going to be the idea. That person should have different idea of doing things. Suppose you need to reach from point A to B. If you are saying that okay, we will take this route, and the other person is also saying that okay, chalo jidhar se whatever route you are telling that we can take the same route, then that co-founder is not going to be that good for you. And the third is values. You need to the person need to have different skill set. The person need to have different ideas, but the values should match. Because suppose there is a co-founder, suppose I get a co-founder, and I am very strict when it comes to ethics. If I want to do something, it need to be ethical in completely. I am not going to pay a 10 rupee bribe to anybody. So this is how I work. This is how ethical I am. So if you are bringing a co-founder which is not which is like unethical, so over a longer period of time, you are going to have conflict with them, and the entire team will break. And Peter Thiel said it into his book, that is 0 to 1, that if your startup if you are unable to get the right team, core team, and the right co-founder at the beginning of the startup, then your startup is screwed. Then you are never going to make it into a good startup. So you should be really choosy and picky when you are choosing a co-founder. So the reason, the three things that you should look is that skill set should be different. Then the ideas should be different. You both should be having different approaches to a problem. That is what I mean when I talk about idea. Then the values should match. You both should have the same values. Otherwise, there will be conflict between you, and then the entire startup will. And second approach is that if you like try to build creating a creative startup where new things will be, new products will be coming, new features will be coming every day. There something new will be there. Try to bring in co-founders from different spheres of life. And if you are planning to grow a startup which is like already there into a market, and it is something like an incremental innovation is there, then you should bring out people like your colleague, your friends, your family members, because with them you can work with a real pace. So this is how co-founders and founders are hunted. And you also need to suppose that you there might be some friend into your college, or there might be even friends into your school with whom you were never able to gel well. These are the people who will be having completely different skill set. These are the people who will be having completely different ideas. If your value matches with them, there will be people who are like quite talkative. You are like the person who was quite introvert, but there will be people who are be like quite talkative into your class, and you both were unable to gel in school only. just reach out to that person, see if he or she is doing anything, see if he or she can join you on your with your startup at a level like CMO, chief marketing, because that person used to talk a lot. If he or she is still there into the that sphere, that person can be a really good fit for the marketing position. So look like that. Try to look from friends, brother, and all. We have done a lot of things like this to find the right co-founder. We have I got a co-founder which was like my friends, younger brothers, batchmate. So this is how we get co-founders. It is a long process. It's completely part of a business plan, and we have a complete different section on finding the co-founders onto the business plan and how to distribute. Even we have a framework there to how to distribute stake to the co-founders. How many percentage should a co-founder get? So it is part of the business plan altogether. Okay, what multiples are considered as standard? 5-year exit, you are not going to do anything in 5-year exit. So multiples are considered as standard on a 5-year, and you are not going to get anything out of 5-year exit. Let me tell you frankly, have a minimum benchmark of somewhere around 10 years, then only you are going to get some money out of it. Otherwise 5-year exit mein kya hoga? You won't be able to generate more revenue, you won't be able to generate more valuation for your startup than the investment that you have received. So as per the liquidation preference, the first the investor is going to get money out from it, then it will be distributed among all the stockholders. So bachega hi nahi kuch. So you are not going to get anything in 5-year exit. 10-year exit, you are going to get some multiples.